used a private company, Sid Blumenthal's company called Osprey Global, to do the topples in Libya and Syria. And also you're going to find that they were used in a lot of other countries, or going to be used in a lot of other countries. This is a workaround called the liaison loophole. And Congress, and when the church committee set up a thing called a finding. So if you're going to run a covert operation, it's still secret within the Congress, but you meet with the House Intelligence Committee and the Senate Intelligence Committee, and you could create a finding, and you tell them what you're going to do. Oh yeah, we're going to give stingers sarin gas, and we're going to attack, here, here, and here, and then we're going to harvest the organs, and then we're going to do some vectoring of some viruses, and then we're going to do a little sex trafficking to pay for the operation. We're going to do arms and oil rat lines. That's what you tell Congress. Well, they didn't. They worked it around it, saying they're working this through British intelligence. And then they hired Australian contractors, and then they turned around and hired mercenaries. So that's how they got around this. This is an obvious going around using liaison operations to go around the finding requirement of Congress is an obvious miscarriage of justice, whatever you want to call it. It's an obvious workaround. It's against the law. This Operation Underground Railroad is against the law. This is a private firm. So Hillary leaves being the Secretary of State, so she can't run these covert operations anymore. This is her going after her political opposition through entrapment programs. So what is she doing here? She's using a private third-party NGO, all ex-Navy SEAL, all ex-Special Forces, etc., to go around the requirement of DHS to open up what they call a finding, an assessment, to get search warrants, to do all the things that you're supposed to do when you're administrating the law and doing law enforcement with DHS. Now, DHS can do sneak peek intrusions and so forth already, but this is just basically taking the whole paper trail away. So this is an obvious workaround again. The Department of Defense, through the CIA and DynCorp, has created a political hit team, a red squads for the United States, basically, for entrapment, for asset forfeiture. I didn't put asset forfeiture on my resume. Claude Destre did. So this is obviously trying to get around congressional limitations for the DHS. Okay, here's DHS. They're the ones funding Tim Ballard over here at Operation Underground Railroad. He's setting up brownstone operations. He's acting as judge, jury, and executioner for people. He gets paid by the number of victims he has. So he's encouraged to go after people who are reporters and so forth, and just say they're sex traffickers or whatever you want to call them. So that's what happened with that's what happened with Gary Webb, and that's what happened with Michael Rupert. And he's using these good people in these different religious organizations and trying to put a revenge motive in them by saying, oh, all these people, these reporters are really sex traffickers or whatever, pedophiles. That's what he's doing. So on Monday, 2 days from now, Kagame, Mr. Body Harvester, will be at the breakfast. So the other body harvester, which is going to be King Abdul from Jordan, he's going to be there as well. So I don't know if the Navy ship Comfort came down here or here. It really doesn't matter, because all they had to do was, after the earthquake, was just helicopter out to the ship, and then from there they can fly the Hearts wherever they want. There's 12 operating rooms on the ship. So the organ harvesting could have happened there, or anything could have happened. So it'd be interesting to see what the actual path of that ship has been over the last 6 years, and where the ports of call have been. So that's really what I want to say is these are workarounds. These things that have been established are workarounds, and the less documentation, the less oversight, the more you have this happening, where people start saying, okay, well, the body cavity's empty, we may as well put drugs in there. Hey, they're dead anyway. Let's take the organs. So again, there's ample proof, so I don't have to go through that tonight. But these doctors now, I'm holding it down to these interns. My son's applying for internship right now. He's in his last year of med school. And there's about 200 of these interns. It looks like a lot of them come from Sudan. And these kids come here, they have no money. They've been trained abroad for medical school, and now they're coming here as interns. And they are the ones doing the harvesting. They're the ones doing the harvesting at 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. So somebody sent me a list of potential people, but I'm still interested to see who these two doctors were. And I bet you they're going to be very young interns. So again, I'm not the one with this on my office wall. And that's interesting office art. I can see a car salesman having cars on the wall. I can see a truck salesman having trucks on the wall, a plane salesman having planes on the wall. I think a heart salesman has hearts on the wall, or at least a picture of a heart extraction. So, and it's King Abdullah here, very militaristic. He jumps out of airplanes, and he's a big militaristic guy, special forces guy. That's where the training center is for the heart extraction. Is in Amman, Jordan, and it's also where I think there's going to be a heart transplant center. Also in UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar are also going to be new places where they're doing heart transplant, liver transplant, lung transplant, kidney transplant, etc. So I'll leave it there. I'll go more into Chicago in the next coming days. Keep sending me your home and square stuff about that, and I'll trace the heart starting here and where the hearts are going. Thanks.